Laughter filled the sleek conference room as Rachel Thornton tossed the resume onto the glass table. "With that outdated blazer, you think you belong in our boardroom?" she sneered. No one could have guessed that within a day, the woman they mocked would hold the power to upend their careers. Have you ever seen someone judged unfairly, only to discover they were far more powerful than anyone knew? This is the gripping tale of hidden strength and justice at its finest. The city skyline sparkled through floor-to-ceiling windows on the 42nd floor of Pinnacle Enterprises' Manhattan headquarters. Emily Carter, 35, sat calmly in the glass-walled room, her worn leather briefcase on her lap. Her simple gray suit and practical shoes showed signs of wear, but she carried herself with quiet dignity. Her resume boasted a stellar career, founding a $50 million eco-friendly startup, Greenwave Solutions, and graduating top of her class from Yale Business School. Yet the interview panel across from her seemed fixated on her appearance, exchanging smug glances. Rachel Thornton, the polished HR director in a designer suit, tapped her manicured nails. "So, Ms. Carter," she said, her voice thick with sarcasm, "you think your experience qualifies you for a senior role at Pinnacle?" The word experience dripped with mockery. Beside her, Daniel Hayes, the CFO, wore a permanent scowl, while Lisa Nguyen, the talent development director, shifted uncomfortably at Rachel's tone. Emily met Rachel's gaze. "Yes," she said firmly. "Greenwave reached a $50 million valuation under my leadership, blending sustainability with profit." Her steady voice silenced the room briefly, but Rachel smirked. "And yet Greenwave collapsed when funding dried up last year, correct?" "Quite a failure." Emily clutched her briefcase, a faded but cherished gift from her late father. "We faced an economic downturn," she replied, unflinching. "Those challenges taught me resilience and adaptability, skills I'd bring to Pinnacle." Rachel laughed coldly. "Pinnacle is a Fortune 500 titan. We need sophistication, someone who fits our world. You're not Pinnacle material." She flicked Emily's resume aside like trash. "We'll be in touch," she added, already checking her phone. As Emily gathered her papers, the door swung open. Michael Prescott, Pinnacle's CEO, strode in. Tall, silver-haired, and commanding at 60, his presence shifted the room's energy. His eyes locked on Emily, and his face lit with recognition. "Emily?" he said, voice warm with surprise. Rachel's smirk vanished. "Hello, Michael," Emily replied, a faint smile breaking through. The panel froze, sensing a shift. Rachel stood, forcing a smile. "Mr. Prescott, we were just wrapping up with Ms. Carter. I didn't know you knew her." "Knew her?" Michael chuckled, placing a hand on Emily's shoulder. "I've known Emily her entire life. Thomas Carter was my mentor and best friend for 30 years. He turned to Rachel, his tone sharp. "I'm surprised you didn't recognize our founder's daughter, who, as of 2 weeks ago, owns 51% of Pinnacle." The room went silent. Rachel paled, Daniel's scowl deepened, and Lisa's eyes widened, a hint of satisfaction flickering. "But her last name," Rachel stammered. Emily set her briefcase down. "My father took the name Prescott for the company. My mother and I kept Carter. He believed in earning success, not trading on family ties." Michael nodded. "Thomas wanted Emily to learn Pinnacle from the ground up before becoming chairwoman, per his will." Rachel's composure cracked. "I wasn't informed," she said weakly. Michael's eyes narrowed. "The board was notified." "You're still receiving board updates, aren't you, Rachel?" The question hung like a blade. Emily surveyed the stunned panel. "Since my interview is over, let's discuss my onboarding. And," she added, eyeing Rachel, "I'll need to review our HR practices." That evening, in her father's Greenwich study, Emily stood by his mahogany desk, her briefcase beside her. Thomas had given it to her before college, a symbol of his early days building Pinnacle. Their relationship had been strained. Thomas demanded perfection, and Emily's choice to start Greenwave instead of joining Pinnacle sparked a fierce argument. "You're abandoning our legacy," he'd shouted. But Greenwave thrived for 7 years until a key investor, Vernon Blake, withdrew funding, triggering its collapse. In her lowest moment, Emily called her father, expecting criticism. Instead, he said, "Failure defines leaders by how they rise." They reconciled, only for Thomas to die of a heart attack 3 months later. His will revealed Emily's 51% stake, with a condition: work at Pinnacle anonymously for 3 months to understand it. Inside her briefcase was a USB drive from Michael, containing Thomas's evidence of Daniel Hayes's embezzlement, millions siphoned through shell companies. Thomas suspected Daniel's schemes caused his fatal stress. Emily whispered, "I'll protect your legacy, Dad." The next morning, Emily entered Pinnacle's boardroom as chairwoman, wearing her gray suit to underscore her point. Rachel offered a brittle welcome, sliding over a report on Greenwave's failure to undermine her. Emily smiled. "Thank you, Rachel. This omits what I gained: lessons in market shifts and resilience." Her honesty won board members' nods, flipping Rachel's attack. Lisa and Gwyn later shared evidence of Daniel and Rachel's power grabs, while Edwin Brooks, the general counsel, warned of Daniel's plan to restructure leadership, sidelining Emily and Michael. Reviewing the USB drive, Emily found $37 million diverted by Daniel through Vernon Blake's shell companies. Shockingly, Vernon was Daniel's brother-in-law, linking him to Greenwave's sabotage. Lisa uncovered Daniel's access to Thomas's medical records days before his death, hinting at deliberate provocation. The stakes skyrocketed. Late one rainy evening, Daniel stormed into Emily's office, his polished facade fraying. "Working late, MS. Carter?" he sneered. Emily stood firm. "Reviewing your financial flexibility, Daniel." Like funneling funds through Vernon Blake's firm. His eyes flashed. "You're naive, like your father." Pinnacle needed my pragmatism. He admitted arguing with Thomas over discrepancies the night he died, claiming Thomas's heart condition was a secret. "I called for help," he insisted, but his desperation showed. When he threatened her to walk away, Emily pressed a button on her briefcase, stopping a blinking red light. "This conversation's recorded," she said coolly. "Your admissions, the embezzlement, Greenwave's sabotage, all documented." FBI agent Laura Mitchell entered with Edwin and the officers. "Daniel Hayes, you're under arrest for wire fraud, money laundering, and obstruction," she declared. Handcuffed, Daniel hissed, "Pinnacle needs a realist, not an idealist." Emily replied, "I'm honoring my father's justice." As he was led away, the storm outside calmed, mirroring the resolution. At an all-company meeting, Emily addressed Pinnacle's shaken employees, her briefcase on the podium. "Daniel betrayed us, but Pinnacle is its people, your integrity and dedication." She announced merit-based hiring, sustainability initiatives, and an ethics committee. Employees gave a standing ovation, inspired by her vision. A year later, at Pinnacle's leadership conference themed "Substance over Surface," Emily's reforms shone. Stock prices soared, and a Greenwave merger made Pinnacle a sustainability leader. Rachel, humbled, worked elsewhere. Emily met Sarah Evans, a brilliant MIT graduate, overlooked for her modest appearance. Offering her a role, Emily broke the cycle of judgment. In her keynote, Emily held her briefcase. "True value lies in character, not appearances." Pinnacle's renewal proves profitability and purpose align. Applause erupted, led by Michael and Lisa. Emily had elevated her father's legacy, proving that worth lies beneath the surface. What do you think of Emily's journey? Have you seen someone misjudged, only to prove their strength? Share your thoughts below, and let's discuss how mocking others in professional settings reflects on workplace dynamics. Your comments could spark a viral debate,